This video is going to be a little bit of a review of some of the saving and investing options we've talked about already, with a little bit more information for you. So you can see this isn't from me. I got this information from a webinar that I attended. But types of saving options and investment options are listed here. So you can read it. I won't read everything in specific, but a little bit more about stock information, how stocks raise money, and then they also pay out dividends, which is a great thing for all of us who own stock because that's money for us. CDs, which we haven't talked about a lot, they're special savings accounts, and you put your money in for a specific amount of time. It could be 6 months to 5 years usually, and then you'll get a return back. So the longer you keep it in, the more return you'll get back, but that money is tied up and then you can't take it out. And that's FDIC insured, which means it's very safe. Real estate is the property that you own, and it can be homes, apartment buildings, land, and people sometimes buy it in hopes that the price will go up. It can be very rewarding, but things can go bad as well. But it is definitely an investing option. Bonds we've discussed already, which is IOUs issued by the government and business, and they're usually safer than stocks. And depending on if they're government or business bonds, government bonds are a little bit safer than business bonds as well. And then treasury bills, something we haven't talked about yet. Short-term loan notes issued by the U.S. in denominations of $1,000. People usually buy these for $20 to $30 less than the face value, and then they'll get that full amount in 3 months to 1 year. And those are backed by the U.S. government. So a few more investment options that you'll be doing something with shortly. On the next page, and you have this in your packet, is talking about saving and simple and compound interest. And we have discussed this in a presentation, but if you look at, if you're adding simple interest of $8, assuming that we're saving $100 at 8%, that is how much we'd have, but compound interest adds more, and so that's the total amount we'd have with compound. So the difference between simple and compound is compound, you earn more interest, and that's because you're earning interest on your interest. So definitely we want compound interest over simple. So the rule of 72, something you'll see on your exam, is a mathematical rule that can help you determine how long it'll take your money to double in value. So how you do it is you do 72 divided by the value of the interest rate, and that'll be how many years it will take your money to double. So if we want to double $100 to $200 at 1%, how would we do that? We would take 72 divided by 1, and that's 72. So 72 years it would take for your money to double at 1% interest, which is a very long time. 2%, a little bit better. 72 divided by 2 would be 36 years for your money to double from 100 to 200 or whatever number you have to double. 72 divided by 4 would be 18, I believe. 18 years for your money to double. 72 divided by 6 would be 12 years for your money to double. 72 divided by 8 would be 9 years for your money to double, and 72 divided by 12 would be 6 years for your money to double. So the higher your interest rate, the sooner your money will double, which is great, and that's earning a lot more money. But remember that there is a relationship between risk and reward, and if you're making 12%, there's probably a chance that you won't make that amount and you could lose that amount as well. So keep that in mind, but that's the rule of 72. 72 divided by the interest rate will give you how many years it'll take your investment to double in value. So here's some scenarios. We have Grandma Hamilton. She's 85. She wants to make sure her money is still around in 3 years. There's Mr. Hamilton, who's 34. He wants to retire in 30 years, and he's willing to take some risk. Brother Hamilton, who's 40. He makes good money. He's a risk taker and thinks that there's parts of New York City that are going to become popular among home buyers in a few years. Sister Hamilton's 28. She wants to put a down payment on a house in a year, but does not want her money locked away. And Uncle Hamilton's 55, and he likes to invest money where there's a legal written commitment involved with the transaction. So with these 5 people, not 5 people, the very last sheet you have tells you to talk about each of the 5 investing options we've talked about, whether in class or the information I just gave you. Is that it best for a short-term, a medium-term, or a long-term investment? Short-term is 1 to 5 years, medium 7 to 15, and long is 20 to 40. So you'd put that here, and you can put short to medium or medium to long. The level of risk, low, medium, or high, and again, some could be in between. What do you think the risk level is? And then who do you think it's best suitable for? Each of them will be suitable for one person, whether it's Uncle Hamilton, Sister Hamilton, Grandma Hamilton. Who do you think would be the best option for each one? So do your best to fill this out, and then I'll have the answers in another video. So just a little bit more about saving and investing information.